Hi everyone, David Maley here. Today we're going to cover some really cool stuff. Today we're going to cover dataset resources. This is one of the #1 things I get asked every day. I mean, literally I can pick up my phone. Let's take a look here. Let's see. Sixth thing asked, hello sir, can I ask for a dataset? Okay, it's right there. I get asked for that all the time. Where do I find the amazing data that I work with? Well, some of it's proprietary data, so I can't quite give you that. But what I can tell you is I'm going to give you 5 great resources right now which are loaded with data sets that are absolutely free and easy for you to use. And I'm going to give you some data on all of them too. I'm going to tell you exactly, do they come in CSV files, or JSON files, are they easy to work with, all that. So let's get started. The first one, World Bank Open Data. It's a resource of over 3,000 data sets. Now think about it, that's a lot of data sets. So it involves time series, classification, even geospatial data. So it's up to you. You can look through it, and you can download it in CSV, XML, and of course XLSX, which is your Excel data. You can download it in any of those 3. And then there's some of them even have more available. So that's the World Bank Open Data. Then you also have #2 is the UCI Machine Learning Repository. That's Irvine, not Irving with a G. It's Irvine, I-R-V-I-N-E. And they have about 480 to 500 data sets and some really cool ones. There's extensive info and data on each of these. So what's really neat is you can see, what type of algorithms would you be using on this data? Is it a classification? Is it time series based? It'll give you those kind of information. Plus it'll give you the columns, the column names and things like that. And it comes primarily in CSV format. So when you download it, CSV. And there's an extensive range that includes some of the biggest, not necessarily biggest as in size wise, but the most used data sets by online training boot camps and online courses. So there's the cars data set, which has mile per gallon, V8, V6, inline 4 engines and stuff like that. Then there's also the plants data set is on there also. Next, and that, by the way, the UCI Machine Learning Repository is one I've used a lot in some of my videos. You'll see a lot of similarities there. And you'll see the data sets are there. Kaggle. Kaggle's a good one. Kaggle's newer. They have a lot of data sets, and they could be in CSV, JSON, BigQuery, all kinds of different formats. So you got to make sure it's the format that you want to use, or you'll have to, change it into that once you've downloaded it. What's neat about Kaggle is not only do they have the data sets, they also have a lot of user files, project files, documentation, and they also have code, both R or Python. Some data sets have both, and they utilize these for that, or you can find it right near it on Kaggle. It's easy to find. Unicef, so that was #3. Unicef's open data set's #4. I would say it's really cool because it's got a lot of updated data. So unlike a lot of other data sets you'll see where they put it up maybe in 2015 and there's not been any updates to it, UNICEF updates their data sets every month, once a month. So their data sets tend to be much more reliable and much more accurate. Depends on what you're trying to do with it. Okay, if you're just trying to work out a process, it probably doesn't matter as much. But if you're trying to show somebody current trends on data that's valid, now you would probably want UNICEF's data for that. It comes primarily in CSV format, and there's all kinds. You can. What's really neat is that there's samples, so you can actually sample the data before you download it, which is nice. So if it's a big data set and it's going to take you 5 hours to download or 2 hours to download, instead of having, and then you find out after you download this is the wrong one, it doesn't have what you need. Instead, just look at a sample of the data real quick. Boom, here it is. Here's 100 rows of data. Is this what I need? And then determine if you want to download. That's what's nice about the UNICEF open data sets. Also, they have world critical and child illness data. So if you want to deal with more of a healthcare related data and looking at trending or diagnosing things or figuring out if you could diagnose something based off of that data, that's a great place to start. Number 5, I would say, is Yelp's open data sets, and the reason being is they don't give you the whole data set. Okay, they give you 10 metro areas. They give you about 6 million reviews and about 198,000 businesses on there. It's JSON only, so it doesn't come in CSV or anything else. So you're going to have to, if you want to use it in CSV, you're going to have to switch it to that, which is not hard to do. You can also put it into R, straight with JSON. I have that in my videos, so if you want to do that and you want the code or want to see how it's done, just go to my video on JSON and R. And then what's great about the Yelp data, though, is if you're into business applications, is that you can see trending customer interests, and then guess what? That goes in line with sentiment analysis and stuff like that. You can see what the online, what people their interests are, what their complaints are, what are they thinking, what are they doing. You can go and take that and do a word map based off that, and then divide up. I've got videos on how to do that in R, and you can quickly figure out, what are the most positive things people are looking at on Yelp. What are the most negative things? You could actually even then take those 190,000 businesses and categorize them by type of business. Then you could actually zoom in on, I don't know, pizza. Maybe you want to look at pizza places and see what's trending there, good, bad, and is it the same across those metro areas, or is it different in each metro area? That's interesting stuff. Customer sentiment analysis and customer information and data is some of the most interesting data you will run into. Doesn't mean that healthcare data is not interesting, but the difference is with healthcare data, you're trying to possibly predict a illness or how bad it can be, or something of that realm, versus with customer sentiment data or customer data, it could be anything, and it's wide open to where you want to go with it. And you'll find there might be a pattern with pizza that wasn't there with gas or gas stations, or who knows. Some interesting stuff, but there you have it. So that's 5 data sets, and I've got the pictures and the links to them, and I'll put them in the description down below so you quickly get to them and get the data that you need. And that's, keep in mind, out of each one of those is 500 to a couple thousand data sets. So you're talking here probably, I'm going to guess, maybe 10 to 20,000 data sets in total out of those 5 resources that are free. They're all free. There's no paying or joining anything to get to those data sets. Thanks again for watching. I hope you found this helpful and interesting. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. And remember, look at the other videos on my channel. So like if you wanted to take JSON data from the Unicef data set, or you have a data set in there you want to work with, it's in JSON only, well, you can go and stick that straight in R. You don't have to convert it to an XLSX or to a CSV. Just watch my video, look in my channel, and just type in JSON and R or something like that. All right, thanks again, and have a great day.